let's get going here.
All right, Jennifer.
Okay, the board is back in session. Where'd staff go?
We're on county time. We're not on real time. We're on county time. It's different than real time.
Okay, next step, Mr. CEO, is to who?
Well, I think we should, Jennifer, are you ready to go through your spreadsheet now? Okay, I think we'll go to Jennifer.
Okay. Ms. Wyatt.
Hi, good morning. Jennifer Wyatt, Deputy CEO. I'm here today to present the final budget worksheet for 2008-09. As previously discussed with Meredith Ford, our auditor controller, and giving us the prior balances for fund balance carryover and estimated reserve, and the overview that Ms. Allison Glassy has just presented, the final budget worksheet is basically a summary of the numbers that we have previously discussed. I have, for the board, given you a hard copy of this worksheet as I have done in the past years, and this is the same worksheet that we have had from prior years, and in the last 4 years we have been using this worksheet. Your worksheet details 3 tabs. One is the final budget worksheet, which is what you're looking at right now, which summarizes all of the numbers. Additionally, there is the external requests, which we will talk about later, and the housekeeping detail tab, which has all of our basically what we call net zero adjustments. There is some slight adjustments from coming over from the housekeeping detail, and I will talk about that later as well. At this time, I would like to go over the final budget spreadsheet, starting from the top of the spreadsheet and explaining to the board where we have derived our numbers. The first row of row 4, talks about the estimated fund balance, which the auditor controller has already discussed. If you recall, back in the mid-year presentation that was given to the board on our mid-year financial reports and the third quarter report out, we have always projected a $1.8 million fund balance carryover. At this time, it's now $1.3 million, and as the auditor had talked about, we estimate that projection and then wait for the auditor closeouts to get our final fund balance carryover, which is now $1.3 million. This is your column G for 1.3. The difference between the two is what you're seeing in column I, which is the $548,061 difference. We're using this number and adding it to the next row, which is row 5 in the purple. As you can see, the projected revenue increase from proposed budget to the final budget is $661,247. The difference between the fund balance and your additional revenue that your auditor controller has projected is bringing us to the $113,186 that we have coming into final budget for additional revenue. We're taking this down. I have noted that our current reserve balance is $1.9 million. That is just for an FYI, bringing us to our net available adjustments of revenue, $113,186. Going down the spreadsheet, we are seeing what I have in column 10, which is housekeeping adjustments and external requests. This amount is linked to the 2 tabs that I had just talked about and referenced. $30,929 is carried forward to reduce the balance of $113 now to $82,257. I will continue on with this spreadsheet to bring you all the way down to the bottom, and then if the board so desires, we can just briefly look at the housekeeping detail so you can see how it's linked. Any questions at this time? Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go forward. The next in gray column, row 50, there's a lot of hidden rows here, but row 56, I have stated here your funding recommendations due to state budget cuts. As you can see, we don't have any funding recommendations at this time because, as Ms. Glassy had reported out earlier, our state budget cuts that we know of at this time are already included in the proposed budget. And until we see any further cuts, there's nothing to put it under this category. Moving down to the row 61, board policy and final budget funding considerations. What we have here is what we thought, if we had any fund balance or additional revenue, were to be the recommendations to the board for final budget considerations. As you can see, the only thing here that we have on this category here is $10,000 to Farm Advisor Budget Unit 6210. This is to help increase funding for one-half position for the 4-H coastal representative due to depletion of funding in the reserve fund that they had usually used to fund this position. This would bring our balance basically back to $72,257, which is what is showing on the